of we the people. We're the taxpayers. They're supposed to serving our purposes, not some of our purposes, all of our purposes, like a republic. That's what we are, a republic, a democratic republic, okay? The majority rules, but we also have individual rights that are protected by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, okay? This is the way it is. We're a very special and unique country because of this. We acknowledge that our rights, above all, come from God. We don't wait for a president to give us rights, or, you know, the mayor. We don't have to be kept in line by the local, law enforcement agencies, because you're a law-abiding citizen. You answer to your conscience. You answer to God. But a lot of people are running from those things. So many people out there that are seeking escapism. They're rebelling against the evil in this world. The good and upright, decent people out there, they're doing this. They're beating themselves up because they want to rebel and escape from the evil that is in control of this world. But the evil people, okay, they seek escapism from their conscience. They seek escapism from the people that are good and righteous and that want justice and mercy. Mercy is such a much underused word in our vocabulary. But this is something Jesus stressed over and over, this idea of forgiveness. It's okay to apologize. It's okay to apologize to yourself, because sometimes that's what it takes. We need to forgive ourselves. Okay, so anyhow, why is the government is responsible? Because they have validated and legitimized the theft of the wealth of our nation. Remember back in '08, a little less than 8 years ago, what happened? What these politicians that are supposed to be representing the purposes of the people, the will of the people, how they bailed out these criminal banksters that were ripping us off, the Federal Reserve Bank. These people not only should have been bailed out, they should have been locked up. That would have been capitalism working, to fall on your face and bust out your collective teeth, allegorically speaking. That's what the will of the people was. That would have been a market correction. Housing prices would have been back down to where they should be, back to where they were in the 60s, even with the relative income increase that we had back in the 21st century now. Okay, that would have been progress, social economic progress towards solving our problems in this country. Because the problem isn't that the housing prices aren't high enough and that we need to prop up these banksters that willy-nilly dump money on the market knowing they were going to blow the pipes out of the economy. Full well knowing, okay, you can't tell me these people with their PhDs and their Harvard degrees didn't know what was going to happen in our economy. So let's settle that argument right now. They knew damn full well that dumping all that money on the market was going to cause these problems, going to cause massive foreclosures, and they could steal the wealth of the people through this method, okay, because the wealth of the people is in home ownership, okay, growing, steadily growing through sound monetary policies, not through just, hey, we got to pump it up, man, boom and bust. No, because then it's like a sieve. It's like a sluice, where, you put your gold in, you put it there, and then you run the water through, and the heavy stuff gets stuck, right? It gets stuck in these little steps that are built on the sluice. And that's what happens in a boom and bust cycle. They knew what they were going to do. And California is leading the way for the rest of the nation. So if I'm talking to anybody out of the country, then you need to know what's coming. They're going to steal your wealth by taking more and more of your home ownership from you. More and more people are going to lose their homes through taking out equity loans, going in debt, and then losing their jobs or having their incomes cut, having their hours cut. Okay, I'm lucky right now, to tell you the truth, as a self-employed landscape gardener for well over 30 years. I've been doing this work. Okay, this is the softest I've seen in the market here in Northern California. I'm lucky if I can get 7.5 hours work. I'm not kidding you. Believe me, that's not at minimum wage, but I'll tell you what, it's far from enough. I'm trying to keep my equipment and all this stuff. I got to go. I'm a journeyman. I am a master at what I do. I got to go out to the job site and use all of my own equipment and keep my own equipment in shape, of which by necessity I've had to learn to do myself for the most part. Occasionally I do have to bring something in for repairs. But, the point is that, look, there's a lot of reasons why people can lose their behinds financially, and that's what they do. That, like vultures, they come in and they just take it. They say, you know what? Reverse mortgage, sorry, but you didn't read the fine print, did you? This sorcery that we added into your contract. You didn't know that we could actually take it before you die, did you? This sort of thing hasn't been made clear to these people, and the government is allowing it. So the government is responsible. The government, the Congress, the Senate, and the president, they said, okay, bail out these banks, these criminals, because if they don't, we got Harry Paulson in there, the head of the Treasury, claiming, hey, we're going to have martial law. We can't let this happen. So, this is what you got, and there's nothing you can do because we validate it. We, the government, we're the most powerful. We're the authorities. So, the government broke it. They allowed it to be broken. They facilitated it. They encouraged it. Okay, they rubber stamped it, allowing the Federal Reserve to be the authority above all else in America. Okay, so they broke it. They got to buy it. Okay, and the way that they should buy it is not by subsidizing landlords in perpetuity and exacerbating the problems because of doing that. No, that's not right. That's not right. No, that money should go to buy poor people houses, okay? And don't call me some wild-eyed radical liberal, okay? Because what I'm talking about is fiscally conservative and fiscally prudent. It makes sense. It's logical. The reality I talk about is logical. Okay, because when you buy somebody a house, eventually you're off the taxpayer roll. Okay, you're done and finished with. Not another needs to be spent. Not another penny needs to be spent subsidizing the landlords, making them fabulously wealthy, guys like Rich Dad. So when your taxes go up, remember where your money's going to. It's going to make guys like Rich Dad, Harry Paulson, and these New World Order minions of the devil, okay, is what they are, making all these people fabulously wealthy, okay? And you can say, hey, but you support Donald Trump. Hey, listen, I'm as surprised as anybody, okay? Because in my mind, I never watched one episode of Celebrity Apprentice, okay? Believe me, I had not an iota of affinity for the man, okay? In my mind, Donald Trump was a highly glorified landlord, an egomaniac. He was insatiable and full of greed, okay? That's it. I mean, that's what my opinion of most multi-billionaires. Okay, but when I heard that Donald Trump, like me, saw homelessness in America as a major issue, and we've got to get to the root of this thing and solve it because it's shameful that America used to be the greatest nation on the face of this earth, the most egalitarian nation, as Gerald Celente so eloquently points out, and it's turned into this festering cesspool, this rotting pile of maggot-ridden excrement, okay, this excuse for a nation at the hands of this New World Order cabal. And they're going down. They are going down. In the meantime, things are continually get worse. So like I was talking to people, what to expect across the nation. Expect the wealth and income disparity to grow. You're going to keep losing homes to these vultures, these monsters, the New World Order cabal and all the minions, associated minions, they're witting and unwitting. Because a lot of these people don't know, I'm just working for I'm self-serving. I'm trying to take care of my family here, Buster. This is capitalism. Okay, no it isn't. It's fascism. When the government's involved in screwing things up for the regular people, working against the interests of the everyday, regular American person out there, working class, middle class, lower class, whoever it is, they're working for the people. We're all taxpayers. Poor people pay taxes too, and they deserve representation, and they're not getting representation. Okay, and they need a refund of all their taxes, and they can go buy their own damn houses, or you've got to start giving people property, and you can't dictate to them any building codes. If they're on their own, they're on their own. Otherwise, you subsidize it in order to fix it. A temporary subsidy. Fix it for all of us. Have sound currency. We want safety. We want security. We want prosperity in the form of monetary freedom from these monsters. And the only way to get it is through sound currency. It's an anathema. That's the worst thing. That's like holy water to these evil people. They know how controversial it is. They know. I'm not teaching them a damn thing. I'm trying to teach other people so they can go out there and teach other people. Only guys like Ron Paul and Rand Paul understand this issue today. Guys like Donald Trump are getting a hint when his supporters are saying, this is the jugular, man. This is it, man. We the people need to gain control over the money printing presses. We need to decide our own financial destiny. If we want prosperity for all of us, damn it, we can get it gradually through sound currency, where my dollar is worth $2 next year, and the following year it's worth $5. You get it? And we can have homes coming out our ears. Private property, yeah, we can get off property tax, all of it. That's right. And you can have so many homes that you own. Listen, when people have a sense of ownership, they tend to want to take care of their crap. Isn't that the way it is? Do you take care of your car because you feel like you own it? It's paid for finally. Hey, you know what? When I clean it, man, this is all mine. Nobody owns it. You know, you still got to pay a nominal fee every year, your registration. For me, it's nominal. I've got my work vehicle is 38 years old, and my regular car is it's 16 years old. So, you know, my registration fees are not high. I realize it's much higher for people that own SUVs and whatnot. But, you know, it's kind of nice, that sense of ownership, where you feel it's mine, all mine, you know. I get that. So I get the idea of private property. But, you know, you learn in real estate law, they tell you one of the first things when you start to learn real estate is they tell you, look, this is a policeable entity. Okay, that's it. They want you to understand that the police control it. That is the first line the government has of protecting their equity, their investments, their collateral. Okay, that's seen as collateral. It's real property. That's why it's called real estate. Reality, right? They're dictating reality. It means property on earth. This is considered the most valuable thing ever. And, you know, the government have to own it. So the government, as a special interest group, city, county, state, federal, all these workers, proxy workers, NGOs, and quasi-governmental workers are all part of that particular special interest group. And yes, it's a monolith. It's huge. But the whole thing is bigger than that. We've got private interests out there. And I don't care who's oppressing you, who's creating your tax burden to be too high. And that includes your cost of living. That's a tax. People don't get that. Well, get that. Don't be deceived. It's easy to be deceived. I'm not getting on your case. Look, we all get this from birth. We're all told reality is X when it's Y. Okay, it's as simple as that. So it's not your fault that you've been deceived. You just believed a lie, just like me. For a long time, I thought the answer was. You know, I used to be kind of a giddy little stupid fool, and I didn't know it. I've always been a nice guy in a sense, you know, that I've been an egalitarian. I've been against social economic injustice. You know, so I've been on the side of right, you know, whether it was a conservative issue or a liberal issue, a Democrat or Republican, I don't care. I don't care about terms like capitalist and communist, and so I don't care about socialist. I don't care about these terms. I just want justice. I just want things to get better. And I know what it's going to take. And I know that what cuts to the chase is sound currency. All the other problems start drying up. Everything falls in line. People stop doing the things they're doing for money. They stop being involved in vaccines that have been known to hurt people, where there's actually two classes you find out. There's the class for the rich elite people, then they got a class of vaccine, class A, and then class B for the peons, the serfs, the minions, you know, just the commoners, okay? And the special class for the rich and the elite that ask for that are aware that it exists, that have been told they're privy. They've got that exclusive knowledge, okay, that other people don't have about a lot of stuff that's going on in our society. And we all need to wake up. So, you know, chemtrailing. These people aren't going to be spraying this stuff if they really have any doubt at all. Dubious war. Guys aren't going to march off to dubious war if they've got any doubt about it. They'll go for free to kick Hitler's butt or any other clown like that. But they don't want to go off if there's an iota of uncertainty. They got to go kill people. They got to get killed. They got to get maimed. They got to maim people. Children witness this stuff. God sees this stuff. So dubious war is something we will avoid. You got to take the money out of it. How to take the money out of it? Through prosperity. For some, no, never. It'll never work. Universal, full prosperity is the answer. This is the only way to set the captives free. This is the only way we, humanity, are going to experience freedom and liberty and safety and security. okay, is through universal prosperity, and we'll take care of our stuff, no matter how much stuff. We're not going to make a lot of stuff we can't take. The gardener says, hey, look, you know what? There's not enough gardeners around here, and this workload is too much for me, you know. Even with my state-of-the-art tools, power tools that, you know, now one gardener is doing the job it used to take literally 50 gardeners to do, literally. I mean, you had to put your gardener up, okay? That's it. You want him to take care of your estate. I mean, you had to house him. You had to take care of him. You know, better than a slave. You got to reward him if the guy's doing a good job for you and you want to keep him, you know? So that's, you know, a reality we don't hear about